Architects are really suckers for punishment, right? When we get something and we say that it's an impossible brief, we'll probably say, yeah, I like that, I'll do it.
Changi Airport for Singaporeans, I think, would be a symbol of home.
Our airports, hold a special place. And the fact that, Changi Airport has been voted year after year as the best airport in the world, that really gives us a lot of pride. And now to finally work for, in one of the terminals is really a dream come true.
SAA's role was as a lead coordinator, a conductor, pulling the whole orchestra together.
When we embark on the T4 journey, we give ourselves a challenge. Can we make T4 a distinct terminal, different from T1, T2, T3, and yet embodies the Changi DNA?
The datum is the best airport in the world, and that it must be relevant when we finish in 4 years' time. So I think that set the tone.
We knew that we had to hit the ground sprinting because it was on a very tight timeline. We had more than 10 consultants on this job. From the time we were appointed to the time that we started work on site, it was roughly 1 year. The full construction took about 3 years.
Up to a peak, I think the contractor had 4,000 people on site. We brought our entire team to site and we just wanted to get very much closer. And all the while, still engaging with CAG. It is not just a mad rush to the end. You have to arrive at the right time, in the right space, with the right quality.
The airport in Singapore has progressed. From just a transport building, it has moved on to, of course, a total experience. I think the journey starts when you arrive at the airport.
We were given the challenge to, give passengers a very stress-free, vibrant experience, positively surprising.
People tend to be stressed because they've got to take out their laptops, they've got to remove their shoes, and they don't know if there's anything in their bag that they're going to be penalized for. Changi actually brought those processes up front instead of putting it at the end.
So by the time these people pass through the immigration and all that, it was like, wow, you can really go into the transit area, shop and things like that, and then just go straight to the plane when you're done.
If you look at all the check-in belts where you drop your bags and when you get your ticketing, they're all skewed towards the direction of which the immigration is. Even the way that the ceilings are done, the wayfinding is intuitive.
When you're on a plane, you're coming in and you can hear the overhead announcement that says, and for all the Singaporeans, welcome home. You're about to step into this airport that is just so welcoming and it just feels like home. That is the first thing that people experience when they come into Singapore.
This central gallery here forms the focus of the entire airport. So at any one point, you are in no doubt which part of the building you are because you got a great central focus point. The other thing that is fantastic about this place is that it's got a high level of transparency, and that is you are able to look from landside to airside. This is very unusual in an airport. You can look right through, wave to all your relatives who are already on airside, and maybe even see their planes take off. I don't think we've seen it anywhere else in the world.
My personal favorite feature really was the Peranakan facade. I felt that it gave a Singapore identity to the terminal.
CAG commissioned Dick Lee to actually direct a show called the Peranakan Love Story there. 2 of these facades are now converted into screens. But when the show is on, the facade opens up as though it's a stage. Now, it's not just a piece of architecture, there's a lot of content involved in it.
The terminal was very bespoke in the sense that there was the petal motif that originated from an orchid petal. It actually tied the themes of the airport as one. People could then relate to it as they were moving through the terminal.
As you go through the airport, there are also other places of great interest where you can take a photograph, certain areas where the children can actually play because the furniture are also fun. It is taking the passenger experience and putting that as #1 priority. These are just some of the design decisions that have happened, and they're reinforced with all the detailing, all the technical bits. So as a passenger, you don't see the complexity, and that is a good thing. Once upon a time, you can sort of sense that there's some romance in the art of travel. But that has been lost because a lot of it became extremely functional. And now we're really moving back to it.
To do a project of such scale, you need almost seamless coordination, whether is it landscaping, whether is it M&E, civil structure, or IT. You need all the players to sync up like orchestra. SAA understood clearly the importance of T4 to Changi Airport and to Singapore. They fully committed to run the journey with us. The spirit of partnership that was developed along the way has been very helpful.
Whenever Changi wanted to push for something that was a bit more daring, we went with them. They were willing to be quite bold because they did want a building that was so fun, vibrant, and positively surprising.
We innovated along the way, co-created along the way, and we found new solutions.
The fact that the client has trusted us so much is a very positive collaboration, possibly the most enjoyable project that SAA has done to date.
The product, as you see today, turns out better than what we expected. As I look back, it was a truly enjoyable experience.
A building is never just done by an architect. It's never just generated because a client has money. It is never done because the contractor is clever. It is done really brick by brick, piece by piece. Every person contributed to it.
SAA stands for that adventurous spirit. It has always been our ethos to push the limit, to be progressive in our thinking. We will always ask ourselves, why not?
We want to be passionate about the work. Without passion, you can't do anything well. Without persistence, you can't get it to the end line. Without resilience, you just give up, when the slightest bit of problem cropped up. We never think that it's finished till it's finished.
What makes Changi Airport the best in the world? Well, I think it's really the people. They're totally passionate and 100% dedicated to the job.
This project that we completed in Terminal 4 definitely has shown that if we put our heads together, no matter how tough the task can be, we will succeed. And as a team, we can really do great things together.